Hey everyone, welcome to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. In this episode, we're going to talk about Nintendo. They finally launched that expansion pack with poor emulation. They really dropped the ball on this. So basically, the expansion pack, and we've talked about the expansion pack before, coming out with the N64 games and Genesis games. Well, it seems like the N64 games, some of them have some problems. So you could probably find a lot of videos out there. I've seen one of like Super Mario 64 just bugging out at the very beginning where Mario pops in. It's all graphically glitched up and Mario's talking like he's a ghost or something. But they're basically reporting stuff like that. A lot of games like Ocarina of Time and even Super Mario 64 has a lot of input latency, input lag. They're talking about basically, I saw something in regards to Mario Kart 64 where it doesn't let you save ghost data because it's looking for the memory card on the back of the N64 controller. So, and it tells you to insert the memory pack into the controller. And the Switch controllers that you can get, the N64 controllers that you can get from Nintendo, do not have the slot in the back of the controller. So that's not even going to be a thing, or possibly be used to save data, just kind of like a retro type thing. But so it's really weird to see that, I don't understand Nintendo. They raised the prices of these, up to $50 for an individual and like $80 or $85 for a family plan. For these N64 and Genesis games, they had to have known that these N64 games were run like crap. And to just put them out there and say, well, here you go. It's where, does that really justify the amount that people have to paying $50 for crappy emulations? There's probably better emulators out on the internet that can play these games way better than the one that Nintendo said, here you go. And also I've seen that there's no button remapping. And since the N64 controller had the little yellow buttons, up, down, left, and right, they get mapped wrong because now we're going to a more traditional controller. And so they don't even allow for button remapping or anything like that in these games. So a lot of these games are missing a lot of features that they should have. You can play online with a few of these games. And I also just read recently that if you're playing, let's say Mario Kart with another person that has a Switch there as well in the same room, locally playing, and you guys decide, hey, let's go play online together as we're connected, as our Switches are connected, it won't allow you. It doesn't allow you to do it. So it's a single player experience, but you get to play online with everybody, but you and your friend can just, hope to get into the same team, and on the same team or on the same map together, I guess. Nintendo just screwed the pooch on this one, but we'll see what the guys think. Shane, what do you think of this?
It's a broken piece of shit. Ta-da! That's your $50 right there. A mutated Mario, no friends. It's a bad thing. Nick's definitely right. You can definitely get a better emulator out there. Hell, I think you can get a better emulator from Shoujo Boy. So, no, don't buy from him, by the way, please. God, no. It's really disappointing. It's disappointing for the fact that, they raised their prices 110% to give you broken stuff. Stuff they had to known was stuff. Stuff they had to known was completely crap when they launched, when they released it, and stuff Nintendo has been making, showing that they just don't care about their gamers as much as they used to. Don't care about their gamers as much as they used to. They care about their customers. Now it doesn't seem like they care near as much, and it's sad, but not surprised. I really surprised at how bad some of them are, but I knew there was going to be some issues. I think they're going to get a lot of backlash, and I hope they do. I hope they do, because it's well deserved, the backlash, the pricing gouging, the crappy emulation. It's not good. It's not a good look. And I would like to see Nintendo come out and just, beg for forgiveness for, screwing their customers over multiple times in multiple ways. It's ridiculous, but that's me. Pat, what do you think?
I would like to just point out that that's technically a 150% increase, not 110, going from 20 to 50.
I do not do math good.
I was just like, yeah, you're giving them too much credit there, Shane. Yeah, I mean, I didn't buy this. I don't think anybody here paid the extra for the N64 games, but all the screenshots that I'm seeing online from the weird button mappings and from the rendering, man, the renderings are freaking horrible looking on this thing. I saw a lot of the Zelda ones and stuff like that where the rendering was just bad. Like the big one I think's going around is the water quality one. The water quality renderings looks like it's just a bunch of rocks. It's like, oh, I guess I can run across that. It's just rock, right?
Yeah, it's that one with where you fight Dark Link and Ocarina of Time. And there's in the original, there's fog and reflection in the water. And on the Switch one, there's no fog and no reflection in the water.
It just looks like a giant rock face or stone ground. Like you can run on it, whatever, So, but yeah, I mean, I don't get it because I'm exactly what Nick said. You can find better emulators online, and this is something sanctioned by Nintendo. They should have known better by upping their price by 150% that this wasn't going to cut it. Now, I think I'd read some articles earlier in the week where Nintendo was blaming Sega for the increase. Like they were saying that it was because we had to bring this in here, we had to pay X, Y, Z. So I don't know if that's factual or not, but I don't care. If you're going to raise your prices on something and then put out a freaking turd like this, then you're going to get what you coming to you. In true Nintendo fashion, fanboys are just going to harp that it's not that bad, it's doable, and I'm like, it's 2021. When you say the emulator is the issue due to technological issues, I'm sorry. These are games that came out when we were freaking kids. There is no technological limitation. It's programming idiocracy that somebody didn't program or create a better emulator for this thing. It has nothing to do with, it's just people pandering to Nintendo. I mean, they do it all the time, right? Everybody, Nintendo has the biggest issue with the controller drift than any other company out there, but they're not doing anything to fix it, nothing to make it right. But fanboys are always on their side. And this is no exception to that. There are so many people defending this increase of the service by $30 a year. It's abhorrent, It's like take your face out of their ass for a second and look and see what's in front of you. Stop sniffing the farts and getting high off of it. Look at what Nintendo's putting out. They're putting out garbage and telling you it's a golden egg. Here's the goose, and that goose just laid a golden egg. No, that goose laid a shit, and you guys think it's a golden egg. It's horrible. And the bad thing is Nintendo people will just eat it up. And I'm sorry, but I'm not spending $30 for this. I'm glad I didn't buy into it because I would have been highly disappointed spending my extra $30 and getting this and been like, because I really want to play some of the N64 games coming out. I really want to replay the Zelda, the Ocarina of Time one. I really want to play, I never got to finish Majora's Mask, and I don't think that one's coming yet, but I think they may be coming out, and I want that. But if it looks like this, I'm not wasting my money, and I'm not wasting my time. Everybody on here knows I'm a graphic snob, and I can overlook some things. If it looked like the original Zelda, I'm okay with that because it's not that bad. But this looks like they took a game from that era and put it back when it came out on Nintendo. So it's garbage. And Nintendo should be highly ashamed of themselves for putting something like this out there. They probably need to make it right with those fans who are not happy, because I wouldn't be happy if I paid for it.
Yeah, the fans definitely should rise up and say, you know what, I love you guys, but it's starting to hurt my butthole the way you're treating me here. You need to stop because, I mean, like you said, $20 to $50 is unacceptable for broken crap. I mean, just straight up broken. I love Nintendo. I've had all their consoles. I will always have their consoles, but they're making it harder for me to justify any purchase with them. anymore. The drifting shit was never fixed on the Switch. They try to, walk their way out of that, and they're doing stuff like this. It's like, you guys used to be the one that we wish the other console manufacturers, looked, and acted like, but, anymore it's, they're just one of those scumbag companies anymore. And I don't like it. I don't like saying bad things about Nintendo.
Well, how do you overlook things like the expansion pack and not basically compensate for that, or look at the old the N64 controller and go, okay, what do we do for people who don't buy the wireless N64 controller? They're playing with the Joy-Cons. What do we do for them, or for the Pro Pad or whatever?
We don't do shit for them. We let them suffer and make them buy it.
We say, suck it up, Buttercup. Buy it or don't buy it. That's pretty much what they say. And a lot of this stuff wasn't known until people started digging into it. And that's the bad thing too, is that, they're probably not likely to give refunds for people who go, this is busted. I want my money back. I paid you $30 for something I can't really utilize. And you could go out and buy yourself a freaking Nintendo 64 and get yourself an analog adapter for your TV and get better quality out of it than this crap,
Yeah. And Nick, you have 64, right? So you could just straight up hook it up to your TV, because I know you got a CRT. So, you saved yourself $30 because you probably own most of those games anyways. You own everything.
I don't own very many N64 games, but I do have Majora's Mask, so I can play that. But yeah, I do have it hooked up to my TV, the old school TV. And at this point, for those people, wanting to relive that, exactly, just go buy yourself an N64. They're everywhere. You can find them at any retro game shop that's around your area. They're probably going to have them, and they're usually pretty cheap. The games, not necessarily, depending on what game you want. And some games are, right? But if you want like Majora's Mask, it was it was a little pricey. Ocarina of Time, all the big hits are a little pricey, but you can just kind of a la carte them here and there when you have the money to buy an extra one, and then next thing you know, you'll have the games that you want to play for a 64. And if you have an HD TV, they do make adapters for N64 to hook them up to HD TVs, and they look really nice. Or go out to garage sales and find you a CRT. I bet you'll find one. Somebody's sitting there with a 27-inch something or other, wanting to get rid of it for like $5 or whatever. So check them out, and you'll eventually find them, or you may even find your N64 at garage sales. People still sell them and stuff. So that's probably the better way to go until, if you really want this Switch version, until Nintendo gets it fixed. If Nintendo's going to fix it, that's the thing. I think they should fix it, and I think Nintendo should stop the price, the $50 price right now, and just do it for free and say, we're not going to do the $50 and $80 family plan. We're going back to the original plan. I mean, they still have that, but we're just kind of basically putting that in a hiatus until we can get this fixed. And so then during that time, they can say, hey, while we get this fixed, everybody can play them for free, right? That might get more people, that would give more faith back into Nintendo. And then once they do put that $50 price tag back in there, once they get everything fixed, those people that, weren't going to do it, but then started to play some of the N64 on games there, might decide at that point, hey, I'm going to do it now.
Yeah, you get them hooked on the drug for free, and then you screw them.
That's right.
Yeah, because I was thinking, Nick, what did you get our N64s for? Were they like $30 or something?
They were $30. Yeah, I think I got yours for 30, and then I got mine, I think, for 40 because I got the expansion pack with it.
Yeah, right. I've got one, but I don't have the analog adapter for the TV. I need to go yard selling with you guys again one day so we can find me one.
Yeah, Game World at Nick's, where I live, you can get really good stuff at those retro shops. And me and Nick, we got lucky. I found a CRT TV at a yard sale, and first thing I did was I called him, and hey, they got another one, and we were up here like an 8,000 pounds of 27-inch television. So I would rather play it that way instead of paying $50 to play a broken emulator. I'd rather pay more just to play the right game the right way.
Yeah, but the current TV analog adapters can be expensive because they make like active ones or passive ones. And from what I've seen, the passive adapters look kind of garbage, but they probably look better than this emulator, and
right.
So
yeah, Hyperlink does make some really cheap adapters. They're like $20. They don't look the greatest, but they do the job for HDTVs. But yeah, if you really wanted to because some of those adapters they sell, they actually upscale the image and everything like that, and put really nice coloring and everything, just kind of upgrade the image quality for the game. So, if you want to go that route, if you want to get the nice converters, those are expensive. But
you're just do like $100-$120 usually, and I've seen up to $300 for them sometimes.
Yeah, they have ones for GameCube that are like $200 and something, I believe, but they're really nice.
Oh no, they can suck a butt. I'll go to CRT before I pay that kind of money.
Well, I mean, it's just like buying a console when you think about it. But you have to. It's just like I buy this so I can play my older stuff that either uses the component, the composite video and audio.
Yeah, you're buying the adapters for. You're buying the adapters for the damn Sega. You got Sega, then you got the Sega game drive.
But no, that one adapter is an analog adapter for all of them. It's not like you got to buy one for each one. You buy one that does like S-video conversion or RCAs or component, and there's some that does all of them. I think like the $300 ones will do all of the active upscaling and everything for you. But they're like $200-$300. But it's like buying another console, right? It's like I'm going to buy this, and then I'm going to plug in my Nintendo to it. I'm going to plug in my Atari to it. I don't know if they have UHF on them or not, but I got this and that, So I'm sure you could probably find one, but if you wanted to plug in your GameCube, your N64, your Nintendo, your Sega, you got a Master System, that Sega CD, you do all that instead of having to worry about, because they don't make TVs with the components anymore, the left and right video and then the audio. So
no, and if they do, that's got to be a bad TV. But Nintendo should be ashamed of itself. Yeah, true. Very true. But Nintendo should be ashamed of themselves. I believe they need to listen to this show and listen to what Nick said about taking care of their customers, getting them hooked, and then you can go back to fish hooking them again. So
that's right. Yeah. So it's a sad deal, but hopefully Nintendo will fix this. I don't even know if they will. I mean, haven't heard of Nintendo saying anything about it. So they probably won't. They're just like, this is what you get. Deal with it.
Nintendo don't give a shit.
They don't. Clearly, not anymore. I thought they used to, but they don't seem to lately. But do you guys have anything else you want to say about this subject? No?
Just shame on you. Shame on you.
Right. Yeah, and again, one last thing: if you're looking for retro game consoles, another option is wait till Analog makes a N64 console. I'm sure they will at some point. Right now they have the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, and they're coming out with the the Pocket, which plays the old Game Boy games and stuff. So I'm sure at some point they'll make an N64 one. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with new videos that we do all the time. Thanks everyone. See you later.
See ya.